Hi there everyone, long time no video, I know. Been very busy in our office. Now I'm not actually sitting in our office at the moment, but I am in our office building, which as you can see is much brighter and lighter and airy than our real office is, so it's quite nice to be out here getting some nice normal natural daylight, which we don't get in the office. Anyway, I've got 4 great articles to share with you today, which actually all relate to some one-day courses, and these are just one-offs. We're just trialing them at this moment in time. So one-day courses which are available to absolutely anybody who has some connection in terms of either having children or working with children, perhaps as a teacher or a youth worker. They're very low-cost courses for you to attend, so if you'd like further information about these, then head on over to the NLP for Kids website. You'll be able to find details about them on the NLP for Kids calendar page. It will have all the details about how you can sign up to come along. So the 4 courses that we have available are around stress, anxiety, depression in children, and also learning blocks in children and young people. And when I say children, this is starting from around the age of 7 years upwards, right up through into teenage years. So there's a whole age bracket that we are catering these courses for. So this first article that I'm going to share with you today is called Helping Sad Children and Teenagers. You can find the written copy of this on the NLP for Kids blog page, and the video will also be embedded in there. So, stress, anxiety and depression, SAD, are the biggest mental health issues for children and teenagers. For some, the effects of these problems can be so acute and isolating that suicidal thoughts take hold. For the first time, statistics on suicide victims in the UK have changed. Previously, males in their teens to early 30s were the group most likely to commit suicide, possibly due to the pressures of a recession. Males 35 to 39 are now most at risk. Despite the shift in statistics, young people remain vulnerable as mental health issues continue to rise and health services continue to be stretched. Identifying and knowing how to address mild to moderate mental health issues in young people can help them to avoid an increase in stress, anxiety and depression. Often those who are experiencing these states are unable to articulate what is happening for them, either because they do not understand why they are feeling that way, they haven't identified the root cause, because they feel it's just the way they are, a sense of helplessness, or because they do not possess the language to explain what the cause of the issues may be, a lack of resources. Stress, anxiety and depression are separate problems and can exist on their own, but they usually feed and cross over into each other. There is an overlap in the symptoms that are used to identify each of these issues too. It's useful to know the symptoms of each so that you can begin to look out for them in the young people that you know. However, accurately identifying and labeling whether the problem is stress, anxiety or depression, surprisingly, isn't as important as you may think. What's more important is what can be done to help once it's clear that there is a problem. It's important to help the young person identify the cause of the unwanted feelings that they have and to relate this to the real fear that is behind that. For example, after asking a few questions, you might establish that the teenager you have identified as having anxiety feels anxious because they do not feel they have revised enough for their exams. You could address this by simply getting them to do some more revision. But if they genuinely have been putting in the hours already, more revision may cause them to become more stressed. You could help them by saying, "Don't worry, you'll be fine," but that isn't addressing the real issue either. The real fear that needs addressing in this particular example is likely to be something like fear of failure and the impact that the failure would have on the lives of them and the other people's opinions of them. Until that fear of failure is handled, it's very difficult to obtain a lasting result from any surface level problems you help them to solve. Over the next few months, members of the NLP for Kids team will be running short courses for parents, teachers, and anyone else who has interaction with young people. There are 4 one-day, low-cost courses available for you to attend, and that's low cost but high course value. Each will contain case studies from the trainer and NLP-based solution for the types of problems you can expect to encounter. At NLP for Kids, we are passionate about improving the well-being and mental health of young people. There is limited focus on mental and emotional well-being in schools, with our society impressing a greater importance on academic intelligence with each passing year. Our focus at NLP for Kids is on emotional intelligence and increasing the emotional intelligence and skill set for every young person in the UK. Now we invite you to join us on our crusade.